My name is David, and I've always been a man of routine. I wake up at 6:30 a.m., do a quick job around the neighborhood, have breakfast with my family, and then off to work. I'm a software engineer and I've always taken pride in my ability to solve complex problems. But there was one problem I never saw coming, one that no algorithm could fix. 10 years. That's how long Lisa and I had been married. We met in college, two young souls with dreams bigger than the sky. She was studying to be a teacher, and I was deep into my computer science degree. We were opposites in many ways. She was outgoing, vivacious, the life of the party. I was a quiet, introspective type, always lost in thought. But they say opposites attract, and in our case, it was true. We settled in a picturesque suburban neighborhood, the kind you see in movies, white picket fences, kids playing in the streets, neighbors who'd wave as they passed by. We had two beautiful children, Emily and Jake, and a golden retriever named Max. Our home was filled with laughter, love, and the sweet scent of Lisa's baking. Every Sunday, she'd bake her famous chocolate chip cookies, and the kids would eagerly wait by the oven, their eyes wide with anticipation. Life was good, or so I thought. Lisa had always been passionate about fitness. It was her way of distressing, her escape. Over the years, she tried various fitness regimes, from yoga to Pilates, but recently, she had taken a keen interest in the gym. I didn't think much of it initially. After all, it was just another one of her phases. But then the late nights started. At first, it was once a week. She'd come home, her face flushed from her workout, her hair tied up in a messy bun. The class ran late, she'd say, kissing me on the cheek. I didn't think much of it. But then once a week turned into twice, then thrice, and each time, her explanations became vaguer. I tried to shake off the uneasy feeling that settled in my gut. Maybe she was just stressed with work. After all, being a school teacher wasn't easy, the long hours, the endless paperwork, the parent-teacher meetings. I tried to be understanding, to be supportive. But deep down, a small voice kept nagging at me, telling me that something wasn't right. One evening, as I sat on our porch, watching the sunset, our neighbor, Mrs. Thompson, walked by. She was an elderly lady, always with a kind word and a smile. "Lisa's spending quite a lot of time at the gym, isn't she?" she remarked, her eyes sharp behind her glasses. I just nodded, forcing a smile. But her words stayed with me, echoing in my mind, amplifying my fears. I decided to surprise Lisa one day, to pick her up from the gym. Maybe we could grab dinner, spend some quality time together. But as I parked outside the gym, what I saw made my heart drop. There she was, laughing with a man I'd never seen before. He was tall, muscular, with the confident swagger. They seemed close, too close. I felt a pang of jealousy, of anger, but I pushed it down, telling myself I was overreacting. Maybe he was just a friend at the gym. But as I drove away, that nagging feeling returned, stronger than ever. Life, as I knew it, was about to change, and I wasn't prepared for what lay ahead. The days that followed were a blur of emotions, doubt, confusion, and a growing sense of unease. I tried to push away the image of Lisa laughing with that man, but it kept resurfacing, like a persistent itch I couldn't reach. Lisa's behavior began to shift subtly. She'd always been an open book, her emotions playing out on her face. But now, there was a guardedness, a distance. Our conversations, once filled with laughter and shared dreams, became perfunctory. "How was your day?" I'd ask. "Fine. How were the kids?" "Good." The silences grew longer, the distance between us widening. I'd often find her lost in thought, her gaze distant. When I'd ask her what she was thinking about, she'd snap back to the present, offering a vague smile. "Just work stuff," she'd say, but her eyes told a different story. The late nights at the gym became more frequent. She'd come home, her face flushed, her clothes drenched in sweat. But there was something else, a new energy, a spark. She'd rush to the shower, humming a tune, her thoughtful smiles far away. I tried to bridge the gap, to reconnect. I'd surprise her with flowers, plan date nights, leave her little notes. But each gesture was met with a polite smile, a thank you, and nothing more. It was as if we were two strangers living under the same roof. One evening, as I was setting the table for dinner, I noticed her phone buzzing on the kitchen counter. I glanced at the screen, and my heart stopped. A message from a contact named Alex. The text read, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow." A million thoughts raced through my mind. Who was Alex? Was he the man from the gym? What did the message mean? I felt a surge of anger, of betrayal, but I held back, deciding to wait for the right moment. That night, as we lay in bed, the distance between us felt like a chasm. The rhythmic sound of her breathing, once a lullaby, now felt like taunts. I wanted to confront her, to demand answers, but fear held me back. Fear of what I might discover, fear of shattering the illusion of our perfect life. The next morning, as I was getting ready for work, I noticed a new addition to her wardrobe, a gold necklace with a pendant in the shape of a heart. I'd never seen it before. "It's a gift," she said, noticing my gaze, "from a friend." Her voice was casual, but her eyes darted away, avoiding mine. The signs were all there, clear as day. The late nights, the secretive texts, the new jewelry. But I wasn't ready to face the truth, to confront the reality of our crumbling marriage. I confided in my best friend, Michael, over a beer at our favorite bar. I poured out my fears, my suspicions. He listened patiently, his face a mask of concern. "You need to talk to her, Dave," he said, his voice firm. "You deserve the truth." And he was right. I couldn't live in this limbo, in this state of constant doubt. I needed answers, and I was determined to get them, whatever the cost. The weight of suspicion is a heavy burden to bear. Every moment, every gesture, every word became a potential clue, a piece of a puzzle I was desperate to solve. I found myself observing Lisa with an intensity I'd never felt before, trying to decipher the secrets she might be hiding. One evening, after another of her late gym sessions, I saw an opportunity. Lisa had gone upstairs to shower, leaving her phone on the kitchen counter. My heart raced as I approached it, a mix of guilt and dread. I knew that snooping wasn't right, but the need for clarity, for truth, was overwhelming. I quickly unlocked her phone, my fingers trembling. I opened her messages and scrolled to Alex's name. What I found was a series of intimate exchanges, filled with affectionate messages, inside jokes, and plans to meet up. One message, in particular, stood out. "Last night was magical, can't wait to be in your arms again." My heart felt like it was being squeezed, each word a dagger piercing deeper. The room began to spin, and I had to grip the counter to steady myself. The reality of Lisa's betrayal hit me like a tidal wave, drowning me in a sea of pain and disbelief. How could she? After everything we'd been through, after all the dreams we built together. I took a deep breath, trying to calm my racing heart. I needed to see them together, to witness the truth with my own eyes. I decided to follow her the next time she went to the gym. The following evening, I told Lisa I had a late meeting and wouldn't be home until late. She seemed relieved, giving me a quick peck on the cheek before heading out. I waited a few minutes, then got into my car and drove to the gym. Parking a few blocks away, I approached the gym on foot, blending in with the evening crowd. I spotted Lisa and Alex almost immediately. They weren't working out, instead, they were seated at a nearby cafe, their heads close together, hands intertwined. Their laughter echoed in the evening air, a painful reminder of what we once had. I watched as Alex leaned in, capturing Lisa's lips in a passionate kiss. It felt like a punch to the gut, the world around me blurring as tears filled my eyes. I felt broken, discarded, replaced. I retreated to my car, my mind a whirlwind of emotions, anger, sadness, betrayal, and a burning desire for answers. I needed to confront Lisa, to hear her side of the story. But more than anything, I needed to understand why. Why she had thrown away our love, our history, our future. The drive home was a blur, the streets empty and silent, mirroring the emptiness I felt inside. I parked the car and sat for a moment, gathering my thoughts. The house loomed in front of me, a symbol of our once happy life, now tainted by betrayal. Taking a deep breath, I stepped inside, ready to face the storm that awaited. The house was nearly quiet when I entered, the soft hum of the refrigerator the only sound breaking the silence. The dim light from the living room lamp cast long shadows on the walls, making the familiar space feel foreign and unwelcoming. I could hear the soft patter of rain starting outside, as if the heavens themselves were mourning the impending end of our love story. I found Lisa in our bedroom, her face illuminated by the soft glow of her phone screen. She lit up, startled, as I entered. "David," she said, "I thought you had a meeting." I took a deep breath, my heart pounding in my chest. "We need to talk," I said, my voice firm, betraying none of the turmoil inside. She put down her phone, her face a mask of confusion. "What's wrong?" she asked, her eyes searching mine. I took a moment, gathering my thoughts. "Who is Alex?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Lisa's face paled, her eyes widening in shock. She opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. The silence between us was deafening, each second stretching into an eternity. Finally, she found her voice. "David, it's not what you think," she began, her voice shaky. I felt a surge of anger. Not what I think? I saw the messages, Lisa. I saw you two at the cafe. How long has this been going on? She looked down, tears forming in her eyes. A few months, she admitted, her voice barely audible. The weight of her confession hit me like a ton of bricks. Why, Lisa? Why did you do it? I asked, my voice filled with pain. She took a deep breath, wiping away her tears. I felt lonely, David. You were always so busy with work, and I felt like we were drifting apart. Alex, he made me feel wanted, alive. I felt a pang of guilt, remembering the countless nights I'd come home late, too tired to talk or spend quality time with her. But that didn't excuse her actions. So you decided to have an affair, to throw away everything we've built together? I asked. She shook her head, her face filled with regret. It was a mistake, David. I never meant for it to go this far. I'm so sorry. The room was filled with tension, the air thick with unspoken words and emotions. But more than anything, I felt lost. The woman I'd loved and trusted for over a decade had betrayed me in the worst possible way. I need some time to think, I said, my voice worse. Without waiting for a response, I turned and walked out of the room, leaving behind the shattered remains of our once perfect life. The days that followed our confrontation were a haze of anger, confusion, and heartbreak. I moved into the guest room, the distance between Lisa and me growing with each passing day. Our home, once filled with warmth and love, now felt cold and empty. The laughter of our children seemed distant, a stark contrast to the heavy silence that hung between us. One evening, after putting the kids to bed, I found myself aimlessly driving through the city. The neon lights blurred past, each street a reminder of happier times. I ended up at a dimly lit bar on the outskirts of town, a place where I could drown my sorrows and escape the painful reality of my life. As I sipped my whiskey, the weight of betrayal pressing down on me, a familiar face walked in. Michael, my best friend since college. He took one look at me and knew something was wrong. Talk to me, Dave, he said, taking the seat next to me. I poured out my heart, the pain and betrayal spilling out with each word. Michael listened intently, his face a mask of concern and anger. You deserve better, Dave, he said, his voice filled with conviction. Lisa and this Alex guy need to pay for what they've done. The idea of revenge had crossed my mind, but I pushed it away, thinking it was beneath me. But now, with Michael's words echoing in my ears, the seed of vengeance began to take root. Michael leaned in, his voice low. I know someone who can help. My curiosity piqued, I leaned closer to Michael, eager to hear more about this mysterious helper. Who are you talking about? I asked. Michael looked around the dimly lit bar to ensure no one was eavesdropping. He spoke in a hushed tone. There's a guy I met a few years back, goes by the name Max. He's got a reputation for handling situations like this. I hesitated, uncertainty gnawing at me. The idea of seeking revenge felt both tempting and dangerous. I'd never considered taking such drastic measures before, but the pain of betrayal was pushing me to the edge. What exactly does Max do? I inquired. Michael took a sip of his drink before responding. He specializes in exposing secrets, bringing hidden truths to light. He's discreet, and he gets results. A surge of conflicting emotions coursed through me. On one hand, the thought of exposing Lisa and Alex's affair and forcing them to face the consequences was appealing. On the other hand, I wondered if revenge would truly bring me closure and happiness. I don't know, Michael, I said, my voice wavering. I need some time to think about it. Michael nodded in understanding. Take your time, Dave. But remember, you deserve justice. You deserve to know the truth. Over the next few days, I couldn't shake the idea of seeking justice for the betrayal I had endured. The pain and anger continued to eat away at me, and the thought of confronting Lisa and Alex directly filled me with dread. I needed a way to expose their affair without descending into a chaotic confrontation. One evening, I decided to reach out to Max. I met him in a quiet, dimly lit coffee shop, where we could talk privately. He was a middle-aged man with sharp, observant eyes, and an air of confidence that suggested he knew how to get things done. Michael told me about you, I began cautiously. He said you could help me with a delicate situation. Max leaned in, his expression serious. I'm here to help people find the truth, whatever that truth may be. Tell me your story. I recounted the painful details of Lisa's affair with Alex, the betrayal, and the emotional turmoil it had caused. Max listened intently, occasionally nodding in understanding. David, he said after I'd finished, I can certainly help you uncover the truth. But you need to be prepared for the consequences. Once the truth is out, there's no going back. I took a deep breath, my decision solidifying in my mind. I want to go through with it. I need to know the truth. Max nodded. Very well. Here's what we'll do. Over the next several weeks, Max and I worked together to gather evidence of Lisa and Alex's affair. Max's network of resources and his expertise in surveillance allowed us to capture incriminating photographs and messages. It was a painful process, witnessing the depth of Lisa's betrayal firsthand, but I knew it was necessary to expose the truth. Once we had enough evidence, Max presented me with options for how to proceed. We could confront Lisa and Alex directly, sharing the evidence with them, or we could choose a more public exposure. Max explained that the latter option would ensure that they face the consequences of their actions not just in their personal lives but also in their social circles. After careful consideration, I decided on the more public exposure. I wanted everyone who knew Lisa and Alex to see them for who they truly were. Max orchestrated the release of the evidence through a series of anonymous emails and social media posts, making sure it reached their friends, family, and colleagues. The fallout was swift and intense. Friends and family reached out to Lisa and Alex, demanding answers. Their affair, once hidden in the shadows, was now exposed for all to see. The pain and humiliation they experienced mirrored the anguish I had felt when I first discovered the truth. As the dust settled, I found myself facing a mix of emotions. While there was a sense of satisfaction in seeing Lisa and Alex's betrayal exposed, there was also a profound sadness at the wreckage of what had once been a happy family. In the weeks that followed, Lisa and I decided to separate. Our children, Emily and Jake, would live with me, and we would navigate the challenges of co-parenting. It was a difficult decision, but it was clear that our marriage had been irreparably damaged by the affair. Time passed, wounds slowly began to heal, and life moved on. I focused on rebuilding my relationship with my children and finding a way to move forward. I also sought therapy to help process the pain and betrayal I had experienced. Looking back, I couldn't say whether seeking revenge had been the right choice. It had exposed the truth, but it had also left a trail of destruction in its wake. I had learned that while seeking justice was important, it was equally crucial to find a way to heal and move forward from the pain of betrayal. Life has a way of throwing unexpected challenges our way, and it's how we respond to them that defines our character. In the end, I chose to focus on rebuilding my life and finding happiness for myself and my children, leaving the path of revenge behind. And so, the story of betrayal, revenge, and healing came to an end, a chapter in my life that had forever changed me. Sometimes, the pursuit of justice can come at a high cost, but ultimately, it's our ability to find forgiveness and healing that allows us to find peace and happiness once more. As time passed, I continued to focus on rebuilding my life and providing a stable and loving environment for Emily and Jake. The wounds from the betrayal ran deep, but I was determined to turn our pain into an opportunity for growth and resilience. Therapy played a crucial role in my journey toward healing. It provided a safe space for me to express my emotions, confront my feelings of anger and betrayal, and learn coping strategies to navigate the challenges of co-parenting with Lisa. It also helped me find closure and a sense of clarity about what I wanted for my future. One of the most significant challenges I faced was explaining the situation to Emily and Jake, who were old enough to sense the tension and changes in our family dynamic. It was essential to communicate with them honestly and age appropriately, emphasizing that our love for them remained unwavering. Over time, the kids adapted to our new reality, and I cherished every moment spent with them. We created new traditions, shared laughter, and supported each other through the ups and downs of life. Their resilience inspired me and reminded me of the importance of nurturing our bonds. As the months turned into years, I found solace in the support of friends who stood by my side during the tumultuous period of my life. Their unwavering friendship and willingness to listen helped me rebuild my trust in others and regain my sense of self-worth. I also focused on personal growth, rediscovering my passions and interests that had been overshadowed by the pain of betrayal. I dedicated more time to my career, excelling as a software engineer, and channeled my energy into creative projects that brought me joy and fulfillment. Through it all, I learned that forgiveness was a powerful tool for healing. While I couldn't erase the pain of the past, I chose to release the anger and resentment that had weighed me down. Forgiving Lisa and Alex wasn't about condoning their actions, it was about freeing myself from the emotional chains that had bound me. In time, I found the courage to open my heart to the possibility of new love. I met Sarah, a kind and understanding woman who had also experienced her share of life's challenges. Our connection was built on trust, mutual support, and the shared understanding that life could be complicated but beautiful. Sarah embraced Emily and Jake as part of our blended family, and together, we created a home filled with love, laughter, and acceptance. We nurtured an environment where forgiveness and healing were paramount, teaching the kids the importance of empathy and resilience. Looking back, I realized that the pursuit of revenge, while initially tempting, had only perpetuated a cycle of pain and suffering. It was through the choices I made afterward, choosing forgiveness, focusing on healing, and rebuilding my life, that I found true happiness and peace. Life had thrown a challenging chapter my way, but I had emerged from it stronger and wiser. The scars of betrayal remained, but they served as a reminder of my capacity for growth and resilience. I had learned that while we couldn't always control the actions of others, we could choose how we responded to adversity. In the end, my story was one of transformation, a journey from the depths of betrayal and revenge to a place of healing, forgiveness, and the rediscovery of love and happiness. It was a testament to the human spirit's ability to overcome even the most profound challenges and emerge with a heart full of hope for the future.
Thank you for tuning in to Audio Tales AI. If you enjoyed today's story, remember to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support keeps these stories coming. Until next time, remember, love, trust, and understanding are the foundation of a great relationship. But betrayal, lust, and deception make for the best YouTube videos.